The book of Revelation is the final chapter of the Bible, filled with dramatic visions and intense symbolism. At the heart of this book lies the eternal battle between good and evil, an epic struggle that resonates through the ages. Let's dive into the pages of this enigmatic text to explore how this battle unfolds and what it means for the fate of humanity. Have you ever wondered who the author of this fascinating vision of the end times was? Let's travel back to the 1st century to meet John, the apostle exiled on the island of Patmos. Imagine living in a time of persecution where professing your faith could cost you your life. John, imprisoned for his beliefs, receives a revelation that would forever change the course of spiritual history. Now, picture receiving grand and terrifying visions amidst this backdrop. Revelation is not merely an account of future events, but a book laden with profound symbols and coded messages. Every symbol, every number, and every vision serves a purpose. It is not a text to be read hastily. It's an invitation to dive into the world of hidden meanings. Curious? Stay with me until the end of this video, and together we'll decode some of these messages. What do you think these symbols mean? Any ideas on how they apply to today's world? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and let's unravel the mysteries of Revelation together. Keep watching, because the revelations that follow are breathtaking. At the heart of the narrative in Revelation, we find figures representing good in its purest form. Christ, the Lamb of God, is the protagonist in this celestial story, portrayed as the one who triumphs over evil. By his side, angels, divine messengers, play crucial roles, guiding and protecting. And in the end, the New Jerusalem emerges as a symbol of hope, a city of eternal peace and justice. Revelation is filled with passages proclaiming the victory of good over evil. In Revelation 19, we read about the coming of the faithful and true rider, who judges and makes war with righteousness. And in Revelation 21, the vision of the New Jerusalem descending from heaven marks the ultimate triumph of good, where there will be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. Throughout these visions, we are invited to reflect on the promise that good will triumph. Which of these images touches your heart the most? Leave a comment below and share your reflections. But not everything is light in the book of Revelation. Evil has its own representatives, dark and terrifying figures that personify rebellion against God. The beast, the dragon, and Babylon are not just characters. They are symbols of malicious forces that seek to corrupt and destroy. Let's learn more about each of them and what they represent. In Revelation, evil doesn't hide. It is bold, cunning, and destructive. The beast makes war against the saints, while the dragon pursues the woman who gives birth to the Messiah. Babylon, in turn, seduces the nations with its lust and riches, only to lead them to ruin. Evil promises power and glory, but delivers destruction and despair. These characters are not just villains from an ancient story. They symbolize forces that we still witness in the world today. What lessons can we learn from their defeat? The book of Revelation is known for its intriguing prophecies, which have fascinated and challenged scholars and believers throughout the centuries. Filled with symbols and metaphors, it offers glimpses of events that shaped the past and that may still impact the future. Let's explore these prophecies, understanding what has already come to pass and what may yet unfold. Many prophecies in Revelation are seen as fulfilled throughout history. For example, the fall of the Roman Empire is often associated with the fall of Babylon described in the book. Another example is the global spread of the Christian faith, seen as the fulfillment of the gospel being preached to all nations before the end of time. But what about the prophecies yet to be fulfilled? Revelation speaks of a time when evil will be definitively defeated and a new era will be established. The second coming of Christ, the final judgment, and the creation of a new heaven and a new earth are events that believers await with anticipation and reverence. These prophecies invite us to reflect on our place in divine history. What do you think of these predictions? Do you believe we are close to seeing these prophecies come to pass? If you're enjoying this fascinating journey through the book of Revelation, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, we dive deep into the most intriguing biblical stories, offering reflections that could transform your perspective. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell to never miss a video. And of course, leave a like if this content is helping you better understand Revelation. Your participation is key to our growth together. We've reached the climax of the book of Revelation, the final battle between the forces of good and evil. This is the moment where everything is decided. The beast and the dragon gather their armies to face Christ and his followers in an epic confrontation. It's a scene of intense struggle where the fate of the world is at stake. For Christians, the final battle is more than just a cosmic conflict. It's the promise that good will triumph over evil once and for all. It's a powerful reminder that, despite the struggles we face, evil will not have the last word. Christ will prevail, and with him, those who remain faithful. This is the heart of the Christian hope, the end of pain, death, and sin, and the beginning of a new era of eternal peace. What do you think of this epic battle? How does this vision of the end times impact your life today? Have you ever wondered why the visions in Revelation are so filled with symbols? In Revelation, nothing is simply as it seems. Figures like the dragon, the beast, and the New Jerusalem have deeper meanings, often tied to spiritual and future realities. Each image carries symbolic weight that, when decoded, reveals profound truths about the battle between good and evil. Now, Revelation is also a book that sparks many discussions. There are various ways to interpret it, especially when it comes to the battle between good and evil. Some see the events described as something that has already happened, such as the conflict between the Roman Empire and early Christianity. Others believe that Revelation speaks about the future, a battle yet to take place at the end of times. And there are also those who interpret these symbols more spiritually, as a representation of the internal struggle between light and darkness within each person. Perhaps the most powerful interpretation is the one that tells us Revelation is not just about the past or the future, but also about the present. It challenges us to look within ourselves and recognize the constant battle between light and darkness, good and evil, that we all face every day. Revelation is a book open to interpretation, and each one offers a new perspective on the eternal struggle between good and evil. Which of these interpretations resonates most with you? Which one do you believe is the truest? When we look at the final battle described in Revelation, it's easy to think of something distant and futuristic. But what does it really teach us about our lives today? The struggle between good and evil is something we experience every day, in the choices we make, in our thoughts, and in our actions. Revelation reminds us that this battle is not just external, but also within us, in our hearts and minds. But the great message of Revelation, and the Bible as a whole, is the final victory of good. When Christ returns, evil will be defeated once and for all. This is not just a promise for the future, but also a source of hope for all who face the struggles and temptations of daily life. In the end, good will prevail, and it is this certainty that should guide us and give us strength. Revelation is not just a book about the end times, but also a manual for how we live in the present. It challenges us to keep hope, to persevere in faith, and to fight for good in every small act. What have you done today to be a light in the world? What decisions have you made to ensure that good, in your life, defeats evil each new day? In the end, the most important lesson Revelation teaches us is that, despite the struggles, the victory of good is certain. Christ has already overcome death, and with him, all of us who remain faithful will also overcome. This is the true Christian hope, a hope that sustains us and gives us strength every day. How have you been living this battle? Are you facing challenges in your spiritual life? Share your experiences and reflections in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue following our journey through Revelation and beyond. Let's grow together in faith and understanding. You might think Revelation is a book of the past, isn't it? But the truth is, it has everything to do with what we're living right now. The battle between good and evil is not limited to ancient times or the distant future. It unfolds in the present, in our societies, in our decisions, and even in our inner conflicts. The struggle for justice, truth, and freedom against the forces that try to subvert these values is as relevant today as it was in John's day. Revelation has been a great source of inspiration for art, cinema, music, and even literature. But its influence goes beyond that. The message that good will always triumph, despite the difficulties and presence of evil, is a hope that resonates with millions of people around the world today. In times of crisis and uncertainty, like the pandemic, political conflicts, and environmental crises, many turn to Revelation as a source of comfort, believing that, despite the difficulties, the final victory of good is assured. Though Revelation speaks of an uncertain future, it also challenges us to live with faith and courage in the present. The battle between good and evil is an invitation for us to seek a greater purpose, to stand for truth, justice, and love every day. In the Christian faith, this means trusting that, even when things seem to fall apart around us, God's promise is that He is in control and good will be victorious. In a world where chaos and confusion often dominate, the message of Revelation remains a reminder that we are in a greater battle. As Christians, we are called to keep our hope in the victory of good, to fight for justice, and to live with courage, knowing that the end of the story has already been written. And you, how do you see the impact of the battle between good and evil in your life today? How does Revelation influence the way you view the world and your faith? Leave a comment below and share your reflections. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue exploring deep topics like this. Let's walk together on this journey of faith and hope. Now that we've explored the epic battle between good and evil in Revelation, it's time to reflect. How does this struggle manifest in your own life? Have you ever felt as though you were facing evil in some way? Whether in your choices, your inner struggles, or the difficulties that arise around you. Remember, the spiritual battle is not just a fight in the distant future, but something that happens every day within us and in our actions. Ask yourself, which side are you fighting for, good or evil? It's easy to get lost in the distractions of the world, but Revelation calls us to take a firm stand, to choose the side of good, and to fight for truth, justice, and peace in our daily lives. So, what will you do now? The battle continues, and each of us has a role to play. If this study of Revelation has touched you, and you wish to continue this journey of faith, reflection, and learning, make sure to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you will not only receive more content like this, but you will also be part of a community seeking to grow in faith and understanding of the Scriptures. Did you enjoy this video? Then like it and share it with your friends. And, of course, turn on notifications so you never miss new content. Leave a comment below about the battle you face in your daily life and how you've been dealing with it. I want to hear your story and how Revelation has impacted your life. The battle doesn't end here. Every day is a new opportunity to strengthen our faith and fight for what is right. Join us on this path of faith and truth. May good always prevail, and may the peace of Christ be with you. See you in the next video, where we will continue exploring the power of the Scriptures.